Es una lectura muy fácil y cuando ustedes lo vayan a leer, bueno, se van a dar cuenta de un poquito, ustedes van a sentir un poquito de esa angustia de la que están pasando estos niños. Realmente me da tanta tristeza, lo puedo decir de esa manera, tanta tristeza saber que niños tan pequeños tengan que estar sufriendo tanto y que ya ahorita lo compartieron, pero que mucho tiempo lo hayan estado sufriendo solos. Y bueno, después de leer este libro, yo también me puse a pensar y dije, bueno, ¿qué podemos hacer todos y cada uno de nosotros? Porque no podemos dejar que estos niños sufran solitos. Hay que hacer algo. No les voy a decir qué es lo que hay que hacer, ¿verdad? Pero cada uno tenemos que ponernos a pensar y decir, bueno, ¿qué podemos hacer algo? ¿Qué es lo que podemos hacer? ¿Qué es eso que podemos hacer para poder ayudar a otros niños también que están dentro de nuestra comunidad, que son bastantes? Y bueno, que a través de estos pequeñitos que están aquí y del valor que tuvieron, pues podemos saber que existen estos casos y que desafortunadamente están sufriendo. ¿Qué es lo que ustedes pueden hacer? Quiero que se queden con esa pregunta en su mente esta noche, se la lleven y ojalá que entre todos podamos hacer algo. ¿Qué les parece si ahora, con un aplauso también recibimos a Arturo García? El libro de niños.
Muchas gracias, Mavy. Good afternoon, everybody. Buenas tardes a todos y bienvenidos a la presentación del libro Broken, la cara infantil de la migración. Broken, the Forgotten Children of Immigration. First of all, primeramente, porque soy muy despistado, I'm very clumsy, I'm going to start by thanking everyone who participated in this book, especially the 18 kids who were very courageous in telling their stories. When Germán and I got together and talked about this project, we thought that we were going to write the stories ourselves. That made a lot of sense because I'm a writer and he's a journalist, and it just made sense that we just did it that way. It would have been much simpler. But instead of that, we decided that if the kids told their stories without an intermediary, without a translator, without a journalist on the way, without anybody on the way, it would have a bigger impact. And so that's what we did, and it was tough. A lot of most children don't like writing. It's not their favorite thing to do. But they were courageous enough to do it anyway because they knew they had a sense of responsibility towards the community, towards their families, and towards themselves. I learned very much from them. They gave me a lot of courage. These months, 9 months of work, I have learned a huge lesson in life, and that is the lesson of being humble, the lesson of having strength, the lesson of being courageous. And so I would like to ask you to give a round of applause to these 18 children who participated with their stories in this book. The book also has 6 essays, so it's not only the stories, but it has 6 essays at the end of the book. These 6 essays were written by professional people who, in some way or another, know intimately the problem of immigration in this country. They know how hard it is for the children psychologically, how hard it is educationally, how hard it is when it comes to the law, and how hard it is when it comes to faith. So we asked 4 different people to write for this book, to give their professional viewpoint on the subject. Right now, tonight we have the honor to have one of those writers here, Wayne Laws, for whom I ask a round of applause, please. Would you please stand up, Wayne? participated with an essay, a letter that he wrote when he was arrested for civil disobedience while he was helping immigrant families overcome some of the hardships that they have in court. So thank you, Wayne. Kathy Boher, are you here? I don't think she's here, but she was very gracious to participate with us an essay on the subject of education. She was an educator for the Denver Public Schools all her life, and she graduated, she retired from that not too long ago, and she was very gracious to help with an essay that talks about the subject of education, how it affects the children when one of their parents is in the process of deportation. I would also like to thank Dr. Marinela Maneiro. She wrote how it affects the children psychologically, and then attorney Salvador Alcantara from Fresno, California. He couldn't be here tonight, but he also wrote an essay on the subject of the legal issues that involve immigration. And then, of course, Herman and I participated. He participated with the journalistic essay, and I participated with an investigative essay. So, thank you, everybody. Thanks to my wife. Thank you for being patient during these 9 months. I did not mean to ignore you. I had on my heart and my mind on this, and I really want to thank you. I want to also thank my mother and the media. Univision was very gracious to have a story on this book, Telemundo. CNN en español, María Rosman, thank you. A nuestro amigo Rodolfo, que nos entrevistó, he interviewed us in his radio program. Thank you, Rodolfo. Thanks to La Prensa de Colorado, they've been covering this story all throughout since the beginning. And everybody else who was involved, forgive me if I don't say each and every one of your names. Linda, thank you. Cynthia, Daniel Alcázar, Marcela Gaete, and everyone who helped us with the translation. We had about 15 translators, and I want to give them credit for doing a wonderful job. Some of the kids did not know how to write in English, and some of the kids did not know how to write it in Spanish, but we got this together thanks to them. And so the book is presented in both languages, in Spanish and in English, because we think that it's very important that the whole community, the whole country knows about this issue and learns about this issue from a different angle, not necessarily from what is said on the media or on the streets, which we all know that is sometimes awful. So I'm not good talking in public, so I wrote a small thing that I'm going to read to you if you don't mind. 6 years ago, I found myself in what I like to call an existent crisis. Una crisis de existencia. Because of the bad state of the economy in Mexico, where I